Right now, I would like to talk about the global market, a dance floor where nations, large and small, move to the rhythm of supply and demand. In this dance, the markets are not just a place of transaction but a stage where the economic health of a country is displayed. Healthy markets signify a thriving economy, where goods, services, and currencies flow seamlessly across borders. Moreover, the concept of market equilibrium is key. It's the sweet spot where the quantity of goods supplied meets the quantity demanded, leading to stable prices and satisfied consumers and producers. As we delve into the complex world of economics, let's remember that it's not just about numbers and charts. It's about the human stories behind them, the jobs created, the families supported, and the communities built. Understanding the markets equips us with the tools to contribute to an economy that serves everyone. As we gather here today, let's reflect on the intricate symphony of life that is biodiversity. This variety of life forms the foundation of the ecosystems upon which we all depend. Biodiversity is not merely an assortment of flora and fauna. It's the cornerstone of the services nature provides, from clean air and water to fertile soil and pollination, all critical for our survival and well-being. Additionally, biodiversity is a rich tapestry that supports economic prosperity. The variety of species and their interactions drive ecotourism and sustain traditional industries such as fishing and agriculture. The genetic diversity within wild species is also a reservoir for improving crop resilience and medicinal discoveries. As we forge our paths, let's recognize the role we play in this balance. Our actions can either contribute to the harmony or disrupt the melody. It is our collective responsibility to conserve and sustainably manage our natural resources, ensuring this symphony continues for generations to come.
But what exactly happens to your body when you're in a coma? First, we have to be clear that comas are very different from sleep, despite the fact that the origin of the word comes from the Greek for coma or deep sleep. Comas are not sleep, however, and are instead various forms of unconsciousness that render a person unable to respond to any external stimuli. You can play the loudest, heaviest death metal in the world right next to someone who's comatose, and you won't succeed in doing anything except really annoying the neighbors. Likewise, you can even physically hurt people in a coma, and they will remain completely oblivious and unresponsive. In times in the not-too-distant past, this was sometimes used as treatment, with doctors trying to shock their victims back into consciousness. Everything was tried, from exposing parts of the body to open flames, to severely dropping the body's temperature with ice, to even bloodletting from the head directly. One treatment even included wholly emptying the stomach. We guess because the doctors thought that if a patient got hungry enough, the body would force them to wake up. Or maybe they really were just throwing everything, including the kitchen sink, at the problem, which we're sure was also tried. Comas can occur as a result of serious trauma or as a deliberate medical treatment by doctors. They are typically brought on by traumatic head injury, and it's believed that it's the brain's way of shutting down so it can focus on repairing itself. They can also, however, be brought on by a stroke or a brain tumor, drug or alcohol abuse, or an illness such as diabetes or infection. Most of the time, a coma only lasts a few weeks though, but past this period, the patient can enter a persistent vegetative.
When Australians engage in debate about educational quality or equity, they often seem to accept that a country cannot achieve both at the same time. Curriculum reforms intended to improve equity often fail to do so because they increase breadth or differentiation in offerings in a way that increases differences in quality. Further, these differences in quality often reflect differences in students' social backgrounds because the new offerings are typically taken up by relatively disadvantaged students who are not served well them. Evidence from New South Wales will be used to illustrate this point. The need to improve the quality of education is well accepted across OECD and other countries as they seek to strengthen their human capital to underpin their modern knowledge economies. Improved equity is also important for this purpose, since the demand for high-level skills is widespread and the opportunities for the low-skilled are diminishing. Improved equity in education is also important for social cohesion. There are countries in which the education system seems primarily to reproduce existing social arrangements, conferring privilege where it already exists and denying it where it does not. Even in countries where the diagnosis might be less extreme, the capacity of schooling to build social cohesion is often diminished by the way in which schools separate individuals and groups.
Teachers from cultures in which the practice of mindfulness was not valued would need to be sold the benefits of practicing it more convincingly, as it shapes their ability to give them fully to the practice. Additionally, the teacher's view is based on the student's response to the mindfulness exercises. It is these teachers that have reported the positive change in the student's behavior, or their ability to self-regulate their emotions, or their academic performance, as a consequence of espousing mindfulness. These results support their postulations and suggest additional application of various forms of mindfulness treatments. One example of this would be that, when a teacher sees students be more calm and attending in class after the practices, the teacher probably will have a positive view on the practices. This reinforces the loop because if teachers believe that mindfulness is useful, watching it work well fills their minds with positive experiences.